this is what is very, let me tell y'all something. This is very hurtful to a lot of soulful, vibrational, walking prophet individuals that grew up having slave mind parents, that are affected by slave owners, slavery teachings. And a lot of individuals who had parents that are baby boomers and Generation X people that are so slave minded due to the indoctrination of the European slave owners, man. Let me tell you something, man. It hurts a lot of walking prophet soul beings to have slave mind family members or a slave mind parent that just neglects anything the walking prophet soul being says just because it's new to them, and they just go and dismiss it because it's way too beyond comprehension for their indoctrinated brains to accept, man. You know, let's say the walking prophet child, you know, was to share something to their slave mind father or slave mind mother, and the slave mind parents just neglect what their walking prophet child was trying to show them and tell them, because it was new to the slave mind parents, and the slave mind parents didn't want to accept it. And then this walking prophet child, they had to go to other people that are not family members for love and acceptance. You know, let me tell you something. Like me, I had to go to other individuals for love and acceptance because I didn't get love and acceptance from biological cousins of mine that knew me since I was a child. I didn't really get no love and acceptance of being a highly talented, highly intelligent spiritual being of intuitional intelligence and amazing godly talent, only because a lot of my biological relatives never liked me because of me being a male that's dark skinned and being highly intelligent and highly talented. They could not accept that. They only accept talented people and highly intelligent people that were lighter skinned. That's how a lot of my indoctrinated family members were on my mother's side. It's sad, man. You know, there's a lot of individuals out there, when it comes to their slave mind parents, you know, their slave mind parents just cannot handle them at all. And like all the slave mind parents do is just provide them with a home. But the slave minded parents that were baby boomers and Generation X people, or any slave mind parents that are indoctrinated by slave owner teachings, they did not support their children when their children wanted to pursue their own goals. Because a lot of slave mind parents, they only see their children as an extension of themselves, to just repeat the same slavery ways that the slave owners put on them. This is all facts. And you wonder why a lot of walking prophet spiritual beings don't talk to their slave mind parents, because their slave mind parents only saw their children as an extension of themselves. Imagine having a slave-minded parent that never supported you for pursuing your godly talents, and your slave mind parents only wanted you to just work 9-to-5 jobs and stuff like that. But you know, your slave mind parents didn't want you to be happy with things that you would love to do for your living. And your slave mind parents committed a big sin for neglecting you to pursue your godly purpose, which is your talents, because your talents is your godly purpose, man. You know, any slave mind parent that neglects their walking prophet child to go against the slave owner satanic system, to not work 9-to-5 job corporations and actually work at their talents for a living, those slave mind parents that neglect their child for working on their talents, which is their godly purpose, those slave-minded parents committed a big sin doing that. Because how many parents do you know actually spend time with their children just to see their children actually evolve in their talents? You don't see it. I can tell you this, man, like for my parents, man, for my particular parents, like, you know, of course, you know, when my dad passed away, you know, I never really had my mother actually supported me for the talents that I pursue for my godly purpose. You feel what I'm saying? only because the slave owners had ruined a lot of my parents during slavery. And I blame the slave owners for that. And I blame my parents for not, and I blame my mother for not actually fighting against the damn slave owner indoctrinations, because, you know how slave-minded parents, that never got a chance to accomplish things that they could have accomplished when they was like children. Then they try to downplay their own walking prophet children to not actually pursue their godly purpose talents. Imagine having slave-minded parents that worship religions, worshiping some fictional gods that don't exist, that was created by the slave owners. And then yet these slave-minded parents who worship some fictional gods that never existed go tell their children to go ahead and consume to the 9-to-5 satanic system and neglect their godly purpose. What kind of parents is that tells their parent? What kind of religious parents gonna tell their walking prophet children to not pursue their talents, which is of their godly purpose, and then tell their children to go ahead and slave away, be unhappy at these 9-to-5 satanic job corporations? What sense does that make? That's why a lot of religious parents are hypocrites. Religious parents be the type of people to worship some fake ass Jesus and any fictional God that don't exist, that was created by the slave owners, and then their religious slave mind parenting ass want to turn around and neglect their child for pursuing their godly purpose, which is their talents. Because our talents represents the spirituality, man. Our talents is our godly purpose. Our talents is our godly purpose, which is connected with the all-seeing mind, heart, and soul eye of life of the all. Like, come on, bro. Like, anytime I'm pursuing my talent, I'm connected with the melanated life spirituality symbol. And let me tell you something. If I was to tell my own mother this, or any slave-minded parents in general that have children that are walking prophets, and I told a lot of slave-minded parents that, your children's talent is their godly purpose, and you need to be supporting them. They don't need to be working at these satanic 9-to-5 jobs. And watch how a lot of these slave-minded parents gonna neglect their children for pursuing their godly purpose, which is their talents. And this is the reason why a lot of walking prophet people don't talk to their parents. I can guarantee you right now, these people who be like Instagram models and all this stuff, these male and female Instagram models, I guarantee you they don't talk to their parents. I guarantee you that they don't. Because these people who are Instagram models and like that do photography, do tattoos, and do music, and do what, etc., they don't talk to their slave-minded parents, because slave-minded parents be stuck in the year 1900s. Because, slave-minded parents, they don't get with the times. They don't evolve with the times. Individuals who always evolve with the times are walking prophet spiritual beings. Like me, if I'm in the year 2030, I'm going to be doing things in the year 2030. Slave-minded parents are so stuck to the slave owner European ways of just like slaving away for the satanic 9-to-5 jobs, the way that Satan wants a lot of humans to do. Because, Satan doesn't want people. Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Satan of the Jezebel demon realm doesn't want soulful vibrational beings to pursue their godly purpose, which is their godly talent. So if my godly talent is music and drawing and being athletic and being a model, I'm going to pursue that because it's part of my life godly purpose. And if I ever had to cut a slave mind parent off, I would have to do so if I was in that situation. You feel me? So like